Hi everybody, welcome back to Ox Talks. It is October 26th, 2023. If you are enjoying the videos, please consider subscribing to the channel and telling your friends about the channel, liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to touch on some legal. I'm going to touch on a personal story that I want to share with all of you that has to do with mindset. And the mindset that I think we need to all be embracing going into these very uncertain economic times. And look, it's not always easy to do. It's not always easy to change patterns and practices. I'm going to share with you a story that's happening to me in my life right now, actually in the last few days. So hope you enjoy the video. The topic of today's conversation is about cars. I'm a car guy. Everyone has their own thing. I've always, since high school, been about cars. I was that dude in the driveway washing the car every weekend. Had the bra on the front of the car. Had the loud stereo system. Again, everyone has their own thing. That's just kind of been my passion. I really enjoy cars. And when I got out of law school, and I started to make a few dollars, I pretty quickly went down and borrowed some money from my bank because I wanted to go buy, at that time, one of the latest and greatest, Porsches. And I've always been a fan of those cars, and it was my dream car. And I thought, well, here I am now. I'm an attorney. I can do this. I remember my banker saying to me, "Can you just give it a few years till you're up and running with your business, so you have some track record?" And I said, "Absolutely not. I've got to have this car." So anyway, fast forward now 28 years. I've gone through all different types of cars, sports cars. I spent some time with SUVs. And then of course, having a family, you have to obviously make some changes, and you get out of that genre of car. But anyway, been back into it. Been driving the same car for a few years now, and it's been having a lot of problems. It was a brand new car in 2021. I took delivery of the vehicle like December of 2020. It was a custom order vehicle. But it was produced and made right during those months of the pandemic in 2020, when everything was kicking up and factories were having problems and part sourcing was becoming difficult. Anyway, my take is that car has suffered from some problems that arose back then. Nonetheless, big problems. It had an alternator go out. It had a thermostat go out, the coolant pump failed. Each of these repairs required this vehicle to be in the shop for, weeks on end. I believe the alternator, it took them about 6 weeks to get the part and repair the car. In this case, it's an Audi. So after getting really frustrated with this vehicle being in the shop for so much time, been losing confidence in this car month by month. And now that they've made these major repairs, things start to shake, things start to rattle. When you take parts of a car apart that they have to these days to make these major repairs, they never go back quite together, in my opinion. And so a friend of mine does what's called in California lemon law. And I called him and said, "Larry, would you mind looking at the service records on this vehicle and give me your assessment? Is there anything here? Do we have any claim here with regard to having the manufacturer buy back the vehicle, or or somehow deal with the vehicle, or offer me some compensation?" So anyway, he got back to me and said, "Absolutely, let's write a demand letter to the manufacturer and see what they will propose." Long story short, they proposed to me that they would basically take the vehicle back, and they would reimburse me everything that I put into the vehicle from day one. Down payment, all the payments. And in this case, I was leasing the vehicle through my law corporation. I don't recommend leasing. We own all of our vehicles, but this one I was leasing through my corporation. And so the proposal they made to me, which I did accept, is they're going to, pay me all this money back and take the car. So I do have a weekend driver. It's a little Porsche 964 convertible, older car. It's in great condition, and it's my cars and coffee fun car. It's not. It doesn't have the luxuries of the more modern cars. Doesn't have a cup holder. It's a 5-speed stick shift vehicle. Doesn't have a wireless functions. So it's obviously not really meant to be a daily driver vehicle. So now the thought is, what am I going to do once this car goes back? Am I going to use this little Cars and Coffee vehicle as a daily driver to and from the office? And it's been spinning in my mind about what to do. Well, the guys down at Porsche like the classic car at the local dealership, and they, of course, wanted to put that in the fold and make me a proposal to turn in, do a trade for my classic little car and step into a much, grander, newer vehicle. And of course, there's a special, very, very rare vehicle that they're taking delivery of here in a couple of weeks. And we've been talking the numbers, talking about putting a deal together for that vehicle. And it is a rare car. It is going, these cars are going, believe it or not, they're going for upwards of $20,000, $25,000 over sticker price. I do have a relationship with the dealership, so that wasn't what I was going to be paying, but everything is over sticker. The demand has remained high, at least in this brand of automobile. I do have an article, though, I'm going to read to you which ties in to what I'm telling you here about this particular brand of vehicle in a second and what they see coming in 2024. Point being is that I have been, I've been really analyzing this situation. Does it make any sense with where we're at in the world today, with where we're at with interest rates, with where we're at with the economy and the overinflation of a lot of assets? Does it make any sense to make a decision like this to acquire what is an extremely expensive car? Can I afford the car? Sure I can. And look, for you guys are going to say, well, this guy's, bragging. I mean, I've been practicing law for 28 years. I have I make a nice living because I work very hard. I work every day in my business. I've told you guys about that. So I don't need to justify that. It's something that's passionate for me. And yes, I could go in there and walk out with the vehicle. The point is I have in the last couple of days decided to step back, reassess the situation, reassess, where everything is going to be going, as I talk about every day, and as you hear others like Jeremiah Babe talking about every day, where this economy is heading. And so, I got to a point where I woke up this morning and I decided that is not going to happen. They were waiting to hear from me at the dealership because, of course, they had several other people in line that wanted this car. If I was not going to take it, I had first dibs on the vehicle. And I have decided that I am going to, I tend to get emotional about something. I get excited about it. If I'm passionate about something, sometimes my emotions get the better of me. I think it happens with all of us in certain respects in our lives, if we were to be honest with ourselves. And the guy, the me several years ago, this would have already been a done deal. I would have taken the other car down, traded it in, signed the paperwork, and then walked out with a much more expensive vehicle. The latest and greatest, right? Anyway, that's not this guy anymore. And I decided that it is not a wise decision. Although I want the car, I can afford the car, that I am going to assess it a different way. And I decided that I'm going to pass. And I'm going to assess the situation into next year. I am going to love and enjoy and cherish and drive my little two-seater convertible with no amenities every day, and enjoy the car and enjoy the fact that there's no debt on it. I don't have to worry about the highline repairs on the vehicle, and I don't have to, to feel guilty for making what really would have been an emotionally charged and emotionally driven decision. So I hope that you guys can take this personal story and apply it in your life to whatever it might apply to. It doesn't need to apply to a fancy car. It can apply to anything you have, you want, you desire, and relative to a material thing. It doesn't matter whether it's a pair of shoes or a fancy purse or a car or anything that is your thing. I believe we all need to step back and assess where we are, and let's really plan and prepare for what appears to be an unfolding train wreck in this economy. And I think it's going to affect everybody. It's going to affect the lower class, the middle class, the upper class. The wealthy are already starting to pull in the reins. And I think we're going to see this also hit the highline car market in the coming months and years. The article that actually I saw this morning on Zero Hedge, which was obviously well-timed, it says Porsche foresees challenging 2024 due to interest rate shock impacting demand. The article says Porsche AG is out with the latest warning that the interest rate shock increasingly pressures consumers and will spark demand issues next year. Bloomberg quoted Porsche's CFO Lutz Meschke, I'm sure I've butchered that name, as saying high interest rates are sidelining consumers. He added Porsche's largest market, China, has also seen demand issues due to lackluster recovery in the economy that will remain under pressure next year. It says, quote, in 2024, we expect a challenging year due to the geopolitical situation and the economy in China. Meschke told investors on a call Wednesday morning while discussing the company's 9-month results. And it says, meanwhile, it also says it touches on sales of Mercedes-Benzes. And Mercedes-Benz Group AG's luxury vehicles, such as the S-Class, have already seen a slide in the third quarter as ongoing threats of a global trade showdown increase into 2024. And the article concludes by saying the slowdown, I said showdown, I meant slowdown. The slowdown in luxury may be an ominous sign of mounting recession risks in 2024. So, look, is it absolutely the right decision for me not to buy a $200,000 sports car right now? Undoubtedly. Does it make more sense to step back off the ledge, so to speak, and take stock of the benefits that I do have, make use of what I have, make use of what's already paid for and there to be used and enjoyed? Absolutely. So with that being said, I will leave it there for today. Please get your fitness routine in today. Please get your 15 minutes or half an hour, if you can, of walking in, your push-ups, your sit-ups. And please, as we talk about, the water intake is super important. I'm going to be leaving here in a little while to go do my 60-minute class this afternoon. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you.